Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host Lisa Richardson, and we are coming to you from the Golf House on Spring Island. Joining us today are two special guests. Christian Pulitzer, he is the Outdoor Activities Director, here to share all about the fishing, the skeet, and the archery available on Spring Island. Next up then is John Strother. He is the broker in charge here at Spring Island Realty to tell us all about some new properties up for sale and all the wonderful amenities. So stick around and join us for this episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak. "843 TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
"843 TV, where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV, and today we are coming to you from the Golf House out at Spring Island, always an absolutely gorgeous place. And today joining us first is Chris Pulitzer. He is the Outdoor Activities Director here at Spring Island. Chris, thanks for coming and joining us today.
My pleasure.
I know you have a wonderful position here, and you've been here about 6 years, but you've got quite a family history rooted in this area and the outdoor activities, including fishing. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, Lisa, I got into fishing at a very young age. My father was a charter boat captain out of Hilton Head for 40 years. He ran out of Harbor Town Marina. So I actually started fishing, as a young boy in the rivers and creeks. I had a little Boston whaler. And then as I got older, I actually ended up working for my dad as first mate on his charter boat, the Hero.
It's kind of a little dream position to grow up around this area and learn all about the waters, and that's quite an extensive system, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But what else do you do here at Spring Island besides fishing? Give us a little overview of your role.
Sure. Basically, as Outdoor Activities Director, I'm in charge of the fishing and the sporting clays. We take members and guests out on boats, their boats or our boats, and then we also teach them to shoot sporting clays at the clay range.
Well, that's amazing. You got a pretty nice job.
It's a good gig.
Yeah, it really is. So, I talk to people all the time, Christian. They're coming from other parts of the country. And can you share with us how, so if I'm in California or I'm up in New England and I fish a lot, when I come here, I might as well have landed on Mars because our ecology is so different from theirs. How would I learn how to fish, and what type of things have you got to help me?
Well, basically, John, we offer several different services as far as fishing goes. If you don't have a boat, we have boats. We have charter boats that we can take you out on, inshore or offshore. If you have your own boat, you can also hire us as captains to take you on your own boat. If you'd like to learn the water, we have a lot of new members that come, and they don't know the waterway, so they hire us to kind of help them learn where to go, what to do, what to use. And in essence, they're hiring us to teach them where to catch the fish. And it works out really well for them most of the time.
Well, it really does. That's time well spent because our tides we have 6 to 8 foot tides.
Correct.
And just learning where to go, how to operate your boat here, when's the best time to go fish, and where the fish are.
Yeah, and there are a lot of opportunities inshore or offshore. Obviously, right here close by to Spring Island, the inshore fishing is fantastic. And then not far away, we've got Port Royal Sound, and then the Atlantic Ocean's only about 20 minutes as well. So,
what inshore fishing? What does that mean?
Well, we fish in the creeks and the rivers, basically inside of the offshore demarcation line, 3 mile. We fish inshore for redfish, trout, flounder, but the big draw is the redfish or red drum. People really like to catch reds, and they're fun to catch, and they're also good to eat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they are.
There's such an education, really, to this whole thing with where to go, what kind of fishing, what kind of fish. And fishing is not just for the warm season. In fact, it's almost a year round. So you help to educate the folks on how that cycle works?
We do, yeah. We have different seasons for different fish. For instance, right now in the wintertime, we catch a fish called a sheephead. That's really fun to catch, very good to eat, but it's a cooler water fish. And then in the summer, we catch cobia, early summer. And then as we progress into the fall, the speckled trout and the redfish are really the target.
Yeah. And so you have the infish, and when we say creeks, it's as big as most rivers. A creek here is as big
It
as a
is.
river for most areas. So then we go out into Port Royal Sound, Broad River. What is that? I mean, can you describe that?
Sure. Well, Port Royal Sound is a very unique waterway, body of water. It harbors a lot of life. We have the Port Royal Sound Foundation, which really promotes the sound and what it has to offer, and also protects it. But the fishing in Port Royal Sound, I've been fishing in there since I was a kid for cobia. There's Spanish mackerel. We catch king mackerel right in the mouth of the sound. It's just a fun place to fish. You don't really know what you're going to catch. It's different times of year. You've got so many different opportunities.
And that, I mean, good fishing is just seconds away from here, really.
It
isn't
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, nearby the island and even on the island.
Yeah.
Now, Spring Island has what we call some saltwater impoundments. Explain what that is.
Okay, the saltwater impoundments, we've got basically 3 saltwater impoundments that we fish on the island, and they're controlled by rice gates, and there's levees that run around the impoundments. And you can either fish from the levee, from the dike, or you can go in a boat. We have a boat that's accessible by members on every one of these impoundments. And basically we've got everything in the impoundments that you have out in the river. So you don't even need to go out in the river if you don't want to. Some days maybe when the wind's blowing or you don't have time to go out, you can spend an hour in the impoundment. We've got redfish, flounder, and trout. And we've got some of the best red fishing, fly fishing for redfish that you can possibly find.
Yeah, that's incredible. Can you explain the fly fishing? I know you've got flats boats. And,
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, the impoundments are a little different animal as far as fishing goes. You can sight fish, which is very unique in an impoundment. So we have the average depth in these impoundments is about 2 feet. So you can wade through the water, actually pick out a redfish and cast to it with the fly or the spinning rod. But it's very unique to have that opportunity in an impoundment, and the water's clear enough to where you can see them on most days.
You know, I had a couple that I took out to the shrimp pond, which is one of these saltwater impoundments, and there were 2 eagles. One was sitting in a tree, one was flying around. There was an osprey out there fishing, herons and egrets, and the couple that was with me, the guy just looked at me and said, "You got to be kidding me." He said, "Just."
Just an
what it
everyday
is.
scene right around
It
the low
was.
country, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was. It was incredible.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
they're
is it-
members here now.
Christian has a whole lot more to share, not just about fishing, but some other outdoor activities. So you all stay right here. We'll be back with more 843 TV.